Welcome back. So when we left off yesterday, we were finding new evidence, and we left off on kind of like a cliffhanger because we found out that we found some fingerprints of the cowboy police officer or whatever, the guard. We found his fingerprints in the evidence room. Oh my God. Oh, boring vanilla cishet man here. Thank you for apologizing. Thank you for apologizing. That's very sweet. I do try to talk about, like, the whole last hour was just talking about politics and how it's really important, how every American should register to vote, please. But I think it's hard to find a way to like toe the line as a creator, because I know that some people come here as an escape, but also I'm like, some of us can't escape politics in our day-to-day life, so it's really important for me to talk about it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for just listening and not being weird about it. Okay, we gonna keep playing. No Law and Order today. Ray is here. We can't bring out our assistants Law and Order. It's not possible. As soon as he leaves, they'll come back. What? It's so crazy to me how I literally said, the last time you came here, I literally said, nobody, if anyone from Twitch staff ever sees that clip, I'm gone, like I'm banned. And then I'm not joking, like 5 minutes later, you came in. And I was like, no, I was trying to get away with it. It's good to see you, Ray. I hope you're having a good day. I'm ready to put someone in jail. Oh, we're doing cross-examining today. I love cross-examining. It's so fun. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Is the volume okay, or is it too quiet? I can never get the volume in this game to be right. Sound mixing in 2001 was just not it. Why did the chickens cross-examine the road, lol? The only lol you're getting for that joke, Anthoan. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Hi, Lana. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. That sucks. I love sleeping. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Aw, Lana, no! We know you're innocent! Why did you do that? A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Ema. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Yeah, we know! We know! Miss Sky, We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? He's not a real cowboy. A real cowboy would not leave behind evidence. In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. What made her change her mind? Because she was so like, yeah, I'll just admit to doing it. Who is just like, yeah, I'll just admit to murder. I didn't do. I mean, given how trigger happy they are with capital punishment here, I don't blame her. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. This is not about law and order. It's just about order. And even then, sometimes it's not about order. It's just about and. This game is not about law and order. It's just about the and part. Court is in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. I'm still pretty positive I know what happened. I think he was killed in the evidence room because there was so much blood there. He was killed in the evidence room, and then someone stuffed him in the back of Edgeworth's car because the pop socket, it said that he was killed between 4 and 5:30. So he was probably killed at 4:30 and stashed in Edgeworth's car. Edgeworth left at 4:45, arrived at like 5:12-ish or whatever, left, not knowing that someone had been killed and stashed in his car. And then someone called out what's-her-face, and now they're all like, oh, he was killed twice. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one mess-up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Why can't lawyers talk normal? Like, why is every single contract you've ever read like, henceforth, forsooth, the eligible party A will foresee the evidentiary, like, talk fucking normal, please. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait, literally. Legalize these nuts. Oh, very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. I still think it's crazy he's allowed to be the prosecutor in this case, considering the dead body was found in his car. I love this game. Hi, Smirky! Yeah, we've been playing Phoenix Wright for a couple weeks. It's been really fun. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Yeah, these games are ridiculous. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Who is the suspect? Oh, that's right. Little Meekins. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Oh, not this. Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderers. These people are so excited to say they committed a murder. I don't get it. My occupation is murder. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. He's a Zoomer! Well, I guess in 2001 he'd be a millennial? But this is set in 2016, so he would be a Zoomer. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. I'm about to find every hole in this testimony. Hi, Might Still! Ow, fuck. Do you guys ever get those things where sometimes you breathe in and you get like a sharp pain in your chest? I haven't had that in so long and I just got it again. I'm like, am I gonna die? Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Might Still, thank you for the 38 months. I think it went away, so it's fine. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. Okay, so he was assigned guard duty, and the cowboy guy was not there. Last stream. Everyone say goodbye. Hi, Jones. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. You have 6 days to live. Count your days, bitch. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Oh, not this again. Do unto to others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. When I need here's more info to work with. Okay, so I'm just going to press everything he said. I'm doing good. I love playing Phoenix Wright. Also, I woke up like... Oh, the sound effects. Let me see. Is it the sound effects? Dude, they're so low already. If I turn it down any lower, it's just gone entirely. This game sound is just crazy. I'll turn it down a little bit more. Hopefully it's fine. Or maybe what I could do is turn this up and then turn all of it down. So hopefully that's fine. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Why? Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Maybe a little quieter, okay. Okay, hopefully that's fine. Feel free to keep letting me know if the audio is good or not. It's not annoying to me. I want it to be good for you guys, so. Chat, she's mixing. I'm so proud. She's mixing. She's doing it. You should have seen me the first time I set up a lapel mic for the first time. I was setting it up and I was like, Callie would be so proud of me. You work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks, not ordinary. Oh, okay. I'm about to ask you a very important question, Callie, because I had a nightmare a few nights ago that I completely forgot about until now. Your name is Callie, right? Not Allie. Yes, okay, perfect. This is still haunting me. This is what anxiety is. I called Callie the wrong name for like 3 years. For 3 years, I called her Allie. And then eventually one day someone was like, you know her name is Callie, right? And I was like, how long has it been Callie? And she was like, forever? I was like, wait, what? So I had a nightmare the other night that I've been calling you Callie and you were like, my name is Allie. And I was like, which one is it? Okay, it's Callie, it's Callie, it's Callie. I swear it was only like a year. The fact that you didn't like tell me, hey, just so you know, my name's Callie. I was back when I was too shy to correct. Okay, that's fair. I hope people don't feel too shy to correct me on stuff. I would rather be corrected because it's your name. Like, that's who you are. And also, I'm not like a diva. At least I don't think I am. I'm not gonna be like, no. You'll be called what I call you. So I'm glad someone told me eventually, because I felt so bad. And I misremembered a time where like I called you Callie and I thought you corrected it and said, no, my name's Allie. And I said, okay. I just misremembered everything. I'm just quite stupid, that's all. Anyways, I had a nightmare and I was like, I have to ask her again. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger. Your name is Allie now, accept it or perish. Accept it or hear from my fucking lawyers. The Blue Badger. Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. Lovely is not the word I'd use. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Oh, we're filling it out as we go along. That's cool. There it is. I found it. This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Is it the 498? Yeah. Okay, 498. So we don't know who 7777 is. I see. Huh, but the number 4989596, it's on there twice! It's shown as being used twice. Michael Meekins. Michael Elizabeth Meekins. What have you done? Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. Oh, that makes sense, because he would have brought it in there and then left, and then Bruce Goodman entered, and that's when he saw the suspicious thing, and then he went in there. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. IDs of all who entered the evidence room. Well, not all. When are you gonna do the Blue Badger dance, Avery? It's too hard to learn in one stream. It might take me about a month of rehearsals. 1 month of 8-hour rehearsals every day to learn it. How are you, bro team? Say good or else. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, and then I did it. How do you know if you did it if you blacked out? Good or good? Good. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. Oh my god. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. Listen, no one else is brave enough to say it, so I'll say it. That's kind of hot. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Okay, I don't know about that. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that I was unconscious? Well, wouldn't they tell you? Oh, I guess no one else was there. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. So it was around the time that his body was discovered in the car. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. Is that sound okay? The feedback? Is it better now? I don't want headphone users to, lose their hearing or get tinnitus or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's okay. I'd say yes. Okay. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. That's nice. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. It's much better. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I want audio to be good. No rest here. So there are times where I'm like, am I allowed to laugh? And this is one of those times. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. So would his fingerprints be on the Blue Badger? Audio is good or else. You can laugh, it's fine. Okay. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Sent to my jail cell? Maybe blood. Yeah, we'll have to look. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it. What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. That's so sad. The power of the Nintendo DS. Yeah, seriously. This is the DSi. This is the DSi performance at its best. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. You just called yourself a professional murderer. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Well, if we saw the murder, wouldn't we be able to see the body being moved? It was the Blue Badger. The Blue Badger did it. This is a horror film. This is a horror film. Oh my god. It's so 3D! Of course his face is being covered. Shocker, because it's not him. I think it's gonna be Gant. Oh, who's going in? Oh! Oh! Oh, damn. Okay, so it doesn't show anything. It doesn't actually show anything. And where's the body? And just like that, he's gone. He's gone. The girls are fighting. So that doesn't prove anything. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Security videotape added to the court record. That did not prove anything. Excuse me. Sorry. T does that to me for some reason. I don't know why. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Although, I guess if it was Chief Gant or the cowboy guy, wouldn't Meekins recognize them? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His little face. Oh, he's so cute. Love him. Officer Meekins for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Imagine he gets in Super Smash Bros. And he's like absolutely overpowered. Like he murders everyone. If you get touched, if Meekins even looks at you in Smash, you just go flying into the sky and turn into a star. I want that to be like Isabelle in Smash. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, so it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. I feel like we heard something else yesterday about the fingerprints. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Oh, what did they say before about the fingerprints? Oh man, there's so much evidence. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. But the cowboy detective also worked on that case. The SL9 case, he also worked on it. And so did the girl. So it wouldn't have to have just been him. And also Marshall's fingerprints are here. I'm starting to think the guy in the coat was Marshall. Just like with his hair up or whatever. But he would know who Marshall is, so I don't know. Okay. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. Objection. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. But you said it was unquestionably Goodman! But you don't know who it was! Oh my god. No, it was Marshall. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You've never actually seen Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or Meekins, eek. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. They always listen to my romantic troubles, sir. So he's single. Is that what you're saying? No reason for asking. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. AKA, I forged it. AKA, I just made it up. Source, I just made it up. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Trust me. Source my ass. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Yes. So many! Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. We don't actually see him die. We don't see the officer kill him. Time to scrub the video, woo! This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us the alleged contradiction. No! I don't know where it was. Just believe me. no. He would want me to point it out? Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. When I played Cyberpunk, they had something like this, and I really struggle with this for some reason. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. Okay, hold on, I'm saving. Because I'm gonna get this wrong. Like, the whole video is a problem. The whole video. He would want me to point it out more, like, he would. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? That's a good question. Oh, were you not able to pause and rewind in like the original case? Nepotism. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Wait. The light was already on. Hold on. The light's already on? The light's already on. So is it already open? That's weird. I'm gonna try it. I don't know if it's this, but I'm gonna try it. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Oh, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. Did I get it? Did I get it? According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. No way I just got it. No way. I didn't even notice that before. I was gonna choose a completely different moment. I was gonna choose the moment where like, you can't, like just a part where it's like cut away. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Get to eat my snack. Oh, it's getting juicy. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit! I didn't ask to be smart. I was born like this. It's such a burden to be so good at justice and such. It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Yeah. Order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Oh, me, Your Honor? Someone else opened it for him. This isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what else is wrong. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Does there? Very well, let's inspect the video. No! I don't know. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please. Oh, okay. Well, at least I get to eat. I'm getting hungry. Oh, something fell out. I don't know. Does it have to play this music? The only thing I'm noticing is the glove falling out. I don't know. Allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder. I don't know. I feel like the only thing I can try is the glove, but like... Did I save before this? I don't think I did. Oh! Did the glove jam it open? So maybe someone shut it with the glove on it or something? I'm gonna try. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? Dude, I'm on a roll today. Bro, I'm on a roll today. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances. Okay. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted. The proof does say it's a really thin glove. Ah! Dude, I can't believe I got it right again! I had no idea. No way! This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. This guy needs to be put out of his misery. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. And that's what the thing says in the thing, in the court record. Your Honor. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? The glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. Excuse me, I got really excited. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Yeah, sir, me, sir. I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? He's like, I don't know what's going on here. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2, the sequel. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, you must use their ID card. An ID card that you can just steal? When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Ooh, SL9 was involving police staff? Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. This is so silly because anyone could just take it. Like, someone could have killed him before, taken his clothes, put them on to go get the stuff, and then leave, and then stash the body. I'm just gonna press everything. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me? Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Okay. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. The way he takes a bow, you found me, I'm the murderer. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer. Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. Who's bringing their kid to a murder trial? Mommy! Mommy, what's murder? It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. Whose side are you on? At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we've got. What do we got? What do we got? Maybe it's the ID because we found it. We found it at another location. And they think he was killed at 5:15, so maybe we can just present the ID and be like, it was somewhere else. When did it say he entered? 5:15. And Miles Edgeworth parked his car at 5:12 with the ID in it. So either I present the ID or the record. I'm gonna save and try the ID. I think it's one of either of those. One must use their ID card. But which part do I... There's a record of it. Up to the time the crime detective had used his card. Maybe here? Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. When the music stops, I'm like, let's go! We are gaming! Yeah. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. Oh, I forgot about the lost item report. It shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime, something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. I love you. Will you marry me? Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes, Dada. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree with you. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Oh, not this shit again. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Yeah. 0 IQ, Phoenix. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. Hi, Clubs! How are you, BB? It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? I hate when they do these options because it's always... It's never like you wait and see what happens. I don't know what I'm objecting. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Any day now. That's fine, I'll wait. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Ah! Yeah! Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright, this is the person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know. Oh my God, why can't I talk today? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. We fucking got him. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. That's perfect timing. I was gonna take a pissy break. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Yeah! Oh my God, this is going so well! Dude, I love when I have a case where like, I get kind of stuck and then I have like a light bulb moment. It feels so good. It feels so good. Okay, I'm gonna take a really quick break. It's time. It's time to prove the cowboy did it, I think. I don't know. We are so back. I have tea. I ate a bunch of snacks. And I'm ready to be a lawyer. I'm so ready. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. It's crazy how she knows everything that happened and she's just not telling me. She's just playing like Jigsaw. She's being Jigsaw from Saw or whatever it's called. She's just playing games. That Glee, thank you so much. You slay the mother toilet. I'm shitting in the mother toilet right now. Thank you. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Ema. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. She's a boss, babe. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything. I hope they play the Blue Badger music. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I called him here? Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So have you brought what I asked? Oh, oh. You mean this, right? Oh, good. A stack of files. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? Oh, just a bit of light reading. Oh my God. I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Ah, I finally get to know what happened. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. She was a witness in that case? Miss Guy was a witness? So that's how she got involved. Someone's trying to cover everything up. Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Great observation. This is a quick 4-hour read. That 4 hours? I read slow, dude. I read real slow. That would take me like 2 months. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana. That's over with. No. This is so dramatic. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Is he Joe Dark? And Damon Gant. I knew Gant was involved. I knew Gant was involved in some way. I feel like he's like the mastermind of all of this. I feel like it's him and Jake working together. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones. Gant is so disturbing. The first time he stared at me, I knew there was something wrong with him. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Yeah, can I read it first? Oh, no. We're gonna keep going. No. Oh, I'm so interested. Dude, the way they set up these stories is so fascinating. No. Oh my God. Dude, I love this case. It's so good. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Just downing alcohol on the stand. Look at these case files. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Hold on a second, I'm downing my whiskey. Me, partner? I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime, on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Wait, can I not read the files? Closed. Oh, I can read them! Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall? Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Skye, Emma Skye. Another Marshall? Neil Marshall. There's no Skye on here, though. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lana Skye, head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. Huh. Okay. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. Why was she an investigator and a witness? That's a great question. Much like how Miles Edgeworth is really heavily involved in the murder case and is still the prosecutor. I don't know. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. No. No. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of a newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Japanifornia law, I don't know. What's perjury? The fuck is a bone orchard? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who entered the recordings? You entered them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Also, that's a lie. We have your fingerprints on the fucking thing. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentioned it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. But he says he has a locker. So he would know that there's a fingerprint. Oh my god. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? Street side saloon. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongoli sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? I would. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want to raise this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I did try. Oh, no. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently, your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Up the ante? Before I use it, I'd better up the ante? Anyway, I remember right, I was at a street side saloon. So... Auntie wants uppies? But, so I'm not supposed to use it yet? I'm gonna use it. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Ah! Hee hee! But he's not from Texas. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Look at them skinny legs. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. What a douche. That's not true. No. No. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. I think all I can really do is press it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Cross-examine time! This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. That's not how that works. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. I'm just gonna press everything at this point. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happened to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. Although that's in there now, though. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Marshall's fingerprints updated. Okay. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. This is like... This is... I don't know. This is kind of silly. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. He's also got a glove on, so if he got cut or something, how would we know? My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. Murderer attached the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. What would you know about cereal? One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, though, left behind thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. It's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert. It's just food of the buzzards. It's just food for the buzzards. Isn't that homophone? I don't know. I don't know, man. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony. Wasn't that the end of it? Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? I don't know. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Oh my God. I don't know. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. I am flying by the seat of my pants. Now then, let's have another look at that video. This again. Okay. It's gotta be like the way he carries himself or the way he fights or something. What could it be? Oh. He had a knife. It's a huge knife. And then he's gone. I don't know. Oh, is it his knife? Wait. Is that the knife he shaves his beard with? Hold on. Wait. Oh my God. Is it the knife he shaves his beard with? There, how's that for evidence? That sounds not good. Please allow me to apologize for my colleague. Oh no, was that not it? He gets carried away sometimes. Yes, well, this certainly isn't a first. Will you forgive him too, Miss Officer Marshall? He's not a bad man, just a bit disillusioned. Of course, I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys. But that's his knife. I wonder if I just pointed out the wrong part. No! I'm reloading. I'm like positive it's his knife. I just don't know which part to point it out in. No, maybe it's a different frame. Sorry. Sometimes the Chex Mix dust gets in the back of my throat. That's the one I tried to use. Maybe this? Oh no. I got it wrong again. Oh my God, what is it? Oh, maybe it's not the knife. It must not be then, because I've tried it twice. It pauses there for so long that I keep thinking that's it. When he like hits him with the knife here, it pauses for so long that I'm like, this must be it, is it not? I think I already tried this. Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know. I really thought it was the knife. I don't know what else it could be. This song might lead me to murder. Okay, chat, can I get some help? Just like a hint to push me in the right direction. No, okay. Well, I never expect you to help me with anything, Anthony. Because I was so positive it was the knife. Watch it all the way through. Okay. At least then I get to eat. Chex Mix. He hid something in his locker. He hid something in his locker. He opened his locker before leaving and he stuck evidence in there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are really good at giving like hints that don't give too much away. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was so certain it was the knife. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? You got fucked. You've been Phoenix righted. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Get righted. You've been righted. Any day now. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. Oh, there's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. It would seem that's the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Because you are. Stupid bitch. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Now prove it? Fingerprint sensor? The sweat. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. I plead dumb. Your Honor, I plead stupid. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Hey! Ah! What is he chewing on? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Oh my God, we got his ass. Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Oh, it's jerky. That makes sense. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? At the time of the crime? He was fighting, wasn't he? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? In the room? He was fighting! What do you mean? Oh, I'm kind of confused. To the pokey with you. The pokey. Wait, I'm so confused. Can I read the dialogue? What do you mean, where was he? He was there. Is this victim and killer? Where was Officer Marshall? Wait, he was the victim. Was he not? Officer Marshall was standing right here. I'm gonna save. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his ID card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife out on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. Because he didn't match the photo. It's not him. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? I love beef jerky. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain. This again? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Yeah. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Aw, Mia. Poor dead Mia. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open this locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. This again? I gotta scrub it again? Very well, let's take yet another. Oh God, I'm so bad at this. Ah! After committing the crime. Okay, hold on. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Had to open his locker. It must have been involved in the fight, no? It's weird he's just looking at it and doesn't actually get anything. Is it to clean the coat? 'Cause he got blood on the coat? I think it's gonna be to clean the coat. He would have had to do that fast though, I think. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. Yet? However, something unexpected happened. Oh, did I get it right? I think I got it right! Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Ah! Let's go! A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. So you fucking admitted finally. Soiled it! Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. Posture check. God, I hate having posture. Thank you, Benescore. Oh, my back. Ugh. Okay, I'm ready. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Thank you. Marshall's confession! I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Do I have to cross-examine this? So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. Was there no way to, like, find out whose blood it was in 2001? Like, did that just not exist? It was way too much blood for a small donation. He said it was gushing, though. Oh, I do have to cross-examine. Couldn't just stand by and let it die. Let what die? When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. And also, who opened the thing for you? Who opened it for you? This whole thing is so weird. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Where he was found dead? The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker by yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I want to press him and just be like, that shit was cool. That shit was cool. No further information, Your Honor. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas can be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone! Who took it? Who took the evidence? That's why I didn't have anything. Oh my God. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? because they killed your brother. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. I wonder if all of the victims were related to police officers or whatever. Ugh! I'm pretty sure I just present the SL9 case, but I'm gonna save anyway, just to be safe. Oh. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Ah! Dude, we so got this. In a list of murder victims, Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Still such a weird award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Oh, baby. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. Oh, that was him. Remember when we saw this photo and we were like, who the hell is that? Oh, it's his younger brother. That's so sad. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Who the fuck is that? Joe Dark. He looks like Von Karma. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. I think this is all a setup from Gant, dude. This is all just a fucking setup. It's the same with, that huge CEO we took down in like the second or third trial or whatever, the really big CEO guy. This is the same thing. Who would be ballsy enough to try to frame the chief of prosecutors? It would have to be the chief of police. It would have to be another chief, someone who's on like the same level. Red, white, yes. Red, white, and blue. I feel like it's Gant. I'm so certain it's Gant. We're taking him down. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with the resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze me. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Okay, so he wasn't specifically wearing Goodman's outfit. He was wearing an outfit that looked like something Goodman would wear. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Well, it also could have been you. It was in your car with your knife, let's not forget. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony of Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. No, it's not. She didn't even see it happen. She did not see it happen. She was gone for 5 minutes. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Yeah. Yeah. I rest my case. Oh, this is so annoying. Edgeworth is such a dork. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. But she's not! Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. I love these. I live for these. Oh, she's back! Your Honor, wait. Emma! The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. What is she gonna say? I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Skye sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. I love her. Is that all? Thanks. Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Oh, brother. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, oh, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with them? Oh. Does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. It's being wiped the opposite direction. So someone was holding it with their right hand and was falling backwards. Wait, it was wiped in the other direction. It wasn't wiped leaving. Is there a problem with this? And then they fell into the pool of blood. So someone was killed there and then they cleaned it and they moved the body into the fucking trunk. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Yes. Look at Oh, wait, you can't see it. My big head's in the way. Look at it smeared to the right. Why would it be smeared to the right if they're trying to escape to the left? I think it's the direction. I think. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. I think the murder... Okay. So... Someone had to have died in there before, and then it got cleaned up. I think whoever 7777 whatever killed Bruce Goodman, cleaned everything up in 20 minutes before Miles Edgeworth got there. Wait, no! Because... Officer Marshall cleaned off his bloody handprint. So wouldn't he have cleaned off the other bloody handprint thinking it's his? Oh, I'm so curious. What is going on? Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. On the floor plan? The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor? Oh, fuck. Please tell me it's not the fucking blue badger. Please tell me it's not him, because that's the first thing that comes to mind. I feel like it is gonna be the blue badger. Did I save? I don't think I saved. What is AI 16? Still don't know about this jar. I'm gonna guess the... Oh no, but the blue badger was moved out, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try it, because I don't know. Oh, was allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder. I'm gonna try it. Is it right? What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force. Ah! Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Where he was dancing. Well, what? That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. But earlier he was moved out! He was moved out! What? But he walked behind the blue badger when the camera was moving. I don't know, man. So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Ima! On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. Bruce Goodman was fucking killed. He was fucking killed in there. And then he was fucking moved to the trunk of the car. And then he was placed at another location. And then he fucking died. And the guy did it. The chief of police did it. Oh my God. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. But you can't see because his fucking head's in the way. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. I love this game. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? I think I'd have to use the ID card thing. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. It has to be the ID card thing. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? I'm pretty sure it's the ID card thing, but I'm never sure of anything. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it, and in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Mr. Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. I don't think, it's not Edgeworth. It's literally not. It's the first one. Who's the first one? Oh my God. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have just had 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence. Dude, that 7-7 thing, that one's gonna be Gant. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be Gant. I'm telling you. I bet Gant was like, oh, you can't find your ID card? Let's go check out the evidence room together, Bruce Goodman. Let's go check it out together. We'll use my card to go in. And they walked in together, and there's no way, what's his face would have noticed? There's no way that Officer Marshall would have noticed because he doesn't ever fucking do his job. He was eating spaghetti across the street. No one would have witnessed Gant going in there with Bruce Goodman. There's no way. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. The 7s. It's 7 sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with the 7s. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. We already know who it is. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we looked up her ID number, and it's not 77777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh. What is going on? What is going on? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana, I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence, what if it wasn't him? What if it wasn't the dark guy, Joe Dark or whatever his name is? See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No! No! Order, order, order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Ah! This has to be the final day. Oh my God! Ah! Dude, it was never Joe Dark. It was never Joe Dark. It was always Gant. Always, always Gant. He's a freak. He's a freak. Put him in jail. Stick him in the slammer. Oh my God. I love this game, dude. It's so fun. It is so much fun. There's something about when you get the evidence right that just like fills your body up with like sunflowers. He was suspicious since the moment we saw him. The moment we saw him, we were like, he's a freak. There's something wrong with him. Forge evidence against gay. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I love this game. Okay, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm going to play this again next Monday? Next week? Am I going to St. Jude next week? What day is it? No, sorry. Next week I'll be here, and then the week after I'm going to the St. Jude Summit. So I think we'll solve it next week, because I think we'll do finding all the evidence on Monday and then the last trial on Tuesday. That usually seems to be how it turns out. So I think there's probably 2 more streams. I love this game. Oh my God, it's so fun. I'll definitely finish it before I go to St. Jude though, because I'm going to be at St. Jude for like a week. So yeah, I think two more will be fine. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out today. It was so fun.